Hey boys, it's HarmNone. Today we're going to be going over what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. We have a new week on our hands with some new discounts, new bonuses, and things like that. Before we get into the video, consider dropping a like if you enjoy or you learn something and subscribing if you're new and you enjoy this style of content. To start things off, this week we have a new weekly challenge, which is to complete any 3 smoke on the water missions, and for doing this you will receive $100,000. Additionally, we also have double money and double RP on smoke on the water money laundering mission, so if you're going to be doing those for the weekly challenge, I would advise you to do the money laundering because it's paying double, so why not? Lamar contact missions are also on double money and double RP, so you should take advantage of those for sure. Short trip missions are also double money and double RP. The featured series modes are also double money and double RP, so that's going to be the hunting pack ones here that you guys can see, as well as these 2 running back games as well. Additionally, on top of this, we have double production speed on the weed farm through the MC businesses, and we have double speed on the nightclub organic produce. So you're going to get those twice as fast, you're going to produce weed twice as fast. Now, a lot of people are complaining that this isn't really a good bonus, but I think a lot of people are also forgetting that if you own smoke on the water, weed is 35% more valuable as an MC business, and of course delivery vans have also been removed. So in my opinion, this is actually a pretty good bonus, and I think everybody should be taking advantage of this all week long, but do with that information what you will, of course. Starting off for some discounts, we have the Canis Terminus discounted this week, 40% off. This is the vehicle sitting right here behind me. It is an Amani Tech capable 4-wheel drive off-road class vehicle with the armor plating upgrade available for it, as well as the missile lock-on jammer and oil slick proximity mines. This is one of the very best off-road class vehicles in the game right now for racing as well, so it's a pretty awesome one. It's going for $1,126,500 this week, and for that price I think it is extremely valid, and I think that you guys should probably all purchase one if you don't have one already. It really is an awesome vehicle. And that's coming from somebody who absolutely hates Jeeps in real life. I love the Canis Terminus in GTA Online. We also have the Dinka RT3000 available this week, discounted by 40% off as well, going for $771,750 if you have the trade price. If you don't, it's probably just going to be under 1.1 million, which is still a kind of reasonable price. If you have the trade price, I think this is a pretty valid price point to get the RT3000 at. It's a car with a lot of customization. It's from the Tuners DLC. It's a fun one. It's kind of good looking if you like the Honda S2000. I personally don't, and I know that's probably a hot take, but it's just really not my style of car. However, I will say if you can get it for under 800k, it is a nice car to customize. It's nice to drive. It's not going to win you any races by any means, but customization definitely carries this car a lot. So if you're into customization, get it. If you're not into customization and you're into performance, you should probably avoid the RT3000. Under the off-road section on Southern, we have the Maxwell Vagrant discounted, as well as the Vapid Trophy Truck. The Maxwell Vagrant was formerly the best off-road class vehicle in the game for racing, but kind of skeptical because it's rear-wheel drive, which a lot of the off-road category vehicles are all-wheel drive, which is a big advantage to have off-road. It's also tiny. It does have some cool customization. It's a fun vehicle to drive, and if you're on like a relatively flat or like a dirt road off-road race, this thing's not going to be bad. But if you're on like an off-road race with a lot of bumps and hills and stuff like that, I don't think the Vagrant is going to fare too well anymore, especially versus the Terminus and the Draugr, which absolutely wreck the off-road category now. So if you are kind of out of the market for effectively a rear-wheel drive dune buggy, I would avoid this thing. If you really want one, if you have the trade price unlocked, I'd say it's like an okay purchase. But if you don't have the trade price, I think paying just over $1.3 million for this thing without upgrades is pretty absurd. And even $1 million, in my opinion, is still crazy. Now, that being said, if you want a Vagrant, if you were going to buy one anyways at some point, now is definitely a good time to do it because it's 40% off. But for most people, I would say you should probably avoid picking up the Vagrant. And if you're in the market for an off-road vehicle and you've already got a Terminus, you don't have a Terminus and it's out of your budget, and so is the Maxwell Vagrant, the Vapid Trophy Truck is an excellent vehicle for $330,000. Now, something to note, this thing has pretty much zero customization. It's got 2 liveries that you can choose from, or you can have no livery on it, and that's it. There's nothing else you can do to it. But it is fantastic with just upgrades, like just performance, you know, engine, turbo, transmission, suspension, and armor, and brakes. It's a fantastic vehicle. For 330k, you absolutely cannot go wrong with it. If you like to off-road, this is a must-have, especially while it's on discount. Even if you don't off-road very much, I would still say for the occasions that you do want to go off-roading, the Trophy Truck is a really, really good vehicle to have. And for 330k, I really don't think you can go wrong with it. It's really, really cool. Over on Legendary Motorsport, we have a couple of vehicles discounted. We have the Obey 8F Drafter, and we have the Shyster Deviant. I think both of these cars, just based simply on the fact that they're so cheap, are worth picking up. The Deviant less worth picking up than the 8F Drafter in my opinion, just purely based on performance. Customization wise, the Drafter also has a little bit more than the Deviant as well, and the 8F Drafter is all-wheel drive versus the Deviant being rear-wheel drive. If you're gonna buy only one of them, I'd make it the Drafter, but if you got the money and either of them interest you enough, I would say get them both potentially. The Deviant is not going to be a fantastic car by any means, especially in the muscle category, but it does have the missile lock-on jammer available for it, which is pretty cool. For $307,000, you really cannot go wrong with this vehicle. Same goes for the Drafter. It does not have the missile lock-on jammer available though, unfortunately, but in my opinion, it is a fantastic looking car with great performance. Overall, I would recommend the 8F Drafter. Scrolling a little further down, we also have the Pfister Comet Safari discounted by 40% off this week as well. Fun fact, this thing can actually have front-mounted machine guns placed on it if you upgrade it in an MOC or Avenger, as you guys can see right here. Unfortunately, no missile lock-on jammer, but with this car, you get one of the best free mode off-road vehicles and on-road vehicles, generally rally vehicles, in the entire game. For $426,000, in my opinion, you cannot go wrong with this. It sounds fantastic, it's got great customization, good ground clearance, all-wheel drive, optional front-mounted machine guns, and it's a Porsche 911. What's not to like about that? Now, technically, it is in the sports category, and in the sports category, it's not that great. But like I said, in free mode, it is absolutely fantastic. And a lot of people are going to agree with me in the comments that the Comet Safari is one of the must-have vehicles in this game. It truly is just different. It's an awesome vehicle. You gotta have one. We also have the Imponte Nightshade discounted for $351,000, which I think is a fairly reasonable price. It's so cheap. Honestly, I'd say pretty much everybody should buy one if you're interested in it. Now, if you're not interested in it, you shouldn't go out of your way to buy it. But for 351k, you kind of can't really go wrong. It's got a little bit of customization. I will say the performance is pretty abysmal, even by muscle category standards, so that is something to note. But it is a really cool looking car, and I don't see them very often at all in online anymore, if I ever even see one to begin with. So it does have that element of rareness to it, which is pretty cool. I think for 351k, you should probably buy one if you're interested. We also have the Lampadati Casco for $408,000. This car is really, really pretty looking, in my opinion. I love the Casco. Ever since it released, I always wanted one, but I could never afford one when it first came out. Luckily, I have had the chance to have a few of them over the years, and it is a really good car. For $408,000, I think you should have one if you're in the market for a sports classic car that's not going to win you any races. Just a fun car to drive around. With that being said, the handling is good. The performance is okay. It's not fantastic by any means, but it's not terrible either. I think for 400k, you kind of can't go wrong with it. I'd recommend buying one. Last but not least, on Legendary Motorsport, we have the Pegassi Zentorno for $435,000 with added customization since it first came out. So if you haven't customized this thing in a few years, it's got way more options than it used to. It's also had the missile lock-on jammer fitted as an available upgrade as well, and it's discounted $435k. Buy it. I don't have anything more to say, just buy it. The Zentorno is a fantastic supercar. You gotta own one. If you don't own one, now is definitely the time to buy one. You can't go wrong with it. Under the four-door category on Legendary, we have the Lampadati Novak for 40% off for $364,800. This thing is an interesting SUV. It used to be one of the very best performing SUVs in the game, and still to this day, I would say it's probably within the top 5. But with HSW in the game now, and with that applicable to a lot of SUVs, I think this thing is a lot less valuable than it once was. It has a little bit of customization available for it, which is cool. It is an interesting and unique looking SUV, although I don't think it's particularly awesome. It's based pretty heavily on that Maserati SUV. Can't even remember the name of it off the top of my head, maybe the Levante, but it's kind of hideous in real life, not gonna lie. But for 364k, an all-wheel drive SUV with pretty good performance and some customization, it's kind of up to you if that seems worth it or not. I personally would say there's a lot of other cars that we've already talked about that you should purchase before the Novak, but if you did want to get a nice cheap SUV that's got some good performance, now is a good time to do it with the Novak. Is it for everybody? No, but if you're remotely interested in it, now is going to be the time to purchase it. And under the motorcycles tab, we have two discounted vehicles this week, the Western Power Surge and the Nagasaki Strider. The Strider, I'm just going to go ahead, offer it, don't buy it. Really not a fun vehicle. I've customized it, I've driven it. It's better than you would think, but it's still worse than you'd hope. You know what I mean? It's better than you think, but it's just not as good as you would hope for it to be. You know, 301,000 if you have the trade price. If you don't, 400,000. I think there's the list of vehicles, I mean, that are discounted this week is so long, and this is at the very bottom of it. You should absolutely not buy this thing, and if you are going to buy it, make sure to buy a lot of the other things that I've talked about already in this list before you purchase this thing, because it is just simply not going to be valuable compared to a lot of the other vehicles that are discounted. The Power Surge, however, is an interesting one. For 963,000, it is a speed glitch bike, so you can pop a wheelie with it and you'll go flying. It's fully electric, which is kind of, you know, a bit risque, I guess. I think it's worth the 963k, unless you have a Hakuchu drag with HSW, then it's not. But if you want to go fast in a straight line doing a wheelie, the Power Surge is like the #1 bike in the game to do that on. If you don't care about that, buy a Hakuchu drag with HSW, and if you don't care about bikes, don't buy either of them. That's all I have to say about the Power Surge. It's if you want it, now's a good time to get it. If you don't want it, don't get it. But of course, our final discount of the week, the LF22 Starling. At least our final vehicle discount of the week is the LF22 Starling, a plane that I have been extremely critical of over the years. Not necessarily the plane itself though, to be honest, it's just the people that fly them. I think they're extremely annoying generally. If you make a video about the Hydra, for example, or the Laser, or the Raiju, or literally any plane other than the Starling guys will come out of the woodworks to come and tell you how the Starling's actually better, bro. You can't say you can't say a single nice thing about a plane. You can't say, yeah, the Raiju's really fast. Oh yeah, well, it'll lose in dogfight to the Starling. So that's Starling people summed up. I'm not going to shit on the Starling because it's objectively not a bad plane for dogfighting. For anything else, kind of is a bad plane. It's not exactly super convenient. It's got this boost that works and charges up. You can arm it with machine guns or missiles, and that's about it. Overall, I'd say it's generally inconvenient unless you're dogfighting. So for that reason, I wouldn't overly recommend it. I do think 1,650,000 is really not much considering how good this plane is at dogfighting. So if you plan to dogfight, I would say purchase it. If you do not plan to dogfight, I would say probably avoid it. Have any interest in even dogfighting in the future? I'd say probably avoid it. There's a lot more useful vehicles you can buy for this much money, and this is the trade price, keep in mind as well. I think it's probably around 2 to 2.4 million without the trade price, and for those prices I think it's not really a good deal, again, unless you dogfight. So if you don't dogfight, don't buy it. If you do dogfight and you don't have one yet, kind of confusing, but yeah, you should probably buy it if you're a dogfighter and you don't have a Starling, because apparently it's super awesome for that. So yeah, I totally forgot, but I should also mention the weed farm is 30% off, not including upgrades, not including modifications. So if you don't have a weed farm yet, now's a good time to buy one. If you're going to buy one, buy the Sanchiansky mountain range location, which is the one that's way up on the map, closer to Grapeseed and the Mackenzie Field hangar. It'll be right here on the map in this particular building. So if you want it and you don't have it, definitely buy one this week, at least the weed farm itself. Podium vehicle this week is the Bravado Greenwood. This is an Amani Tech capable vehicle. It's a pretty cool muscle car with some decent customization. Overall, I would recommend trying to win it. Within the LS car meet, we have the Progen GP1 available to be won this week, and that is a really good car. And in order to win it, you're gonna have to place top 5 for 4 days in a row. you got to try to do that for sure. It's an awesome vehicle. You will not regret getting it. These are the vehicles that are available within the car meet. We have the Coil Brawler on the left, we have the BF Bifta in the middle, and the Canis Kalahari. Honestly, some bricks in here. I don't know what we're doing. 40 grand if you want it. For 40 grand, like, why not, I guess. Bifta 75k if you want it. Just if you want a Maxwell Vagrant, maybe just buy the Bifta, to be honest. It's not quite as fast, but it's a hell of a lot cheaper, so you got that. And then Coil Brawler for 715,000 with the worst brakes in all of GTA Online. Some nice customization though, but it's also rear wheel drive, so that's kind of a big L for an off-road vehicle like this. And the fact that the brakes don't really work is kind of mid too, so I'd probably avoid buying it. We got the Karen S95 as the HSW test ride for the week. In order to purchase this exact example, it's going to cost you $2,883,650, which is kind of a lot. The S95 is a decent car, but it does tend to spin out if you don't know how to control your throttle. So something to learn before purchasing it, I would say. Overall, I think it's a little bit of a ripoff. I'd wait for it to go on discount. Within Simeon's, seemingly it's Dubachi week, I guess. We have the Dubachi Rapid GT Classic available in here, and if you want to purchase it, it's going to cost you $910,000. It's a really good sports classic class vehicle with some decent customization. If you want it, I would say it's not terrible, although I would maybe wait for it to be discounted. We also have the Volcar Warner for $120,000. I think for that price you kind of can't go wrong with it. We have the Dubachi Masacro available as well for $275,000, and that is a great car. The Masacro is one of my top 10 in the game, I would say overall. I absolutely love that thing. Maybe top 20. We also have the Dubachi Rapid GT Cabrio for $140,000. I think for that price, kind of hard to go wrong with it. Not the prettiest looking car. I'd definitely spend the extra money to get the Masacro, in my opinion at least. And of course the Nagasaki Hot Rod Blazer for $69,000 if you want it. Imagine my surprise pulling up to Luxury Autos and it's terrible. We have the overflawed Suzume with stock black wheels, which is the only redeeming quality to purchase it here. And we also have the Annis Hardy with stock black wheels that look like endos anyway, and a drift taxi livery, which is cool. So within the salvage yard, we have the Meibatsu Penumbra FF available by completing the Duggan robbery. The overflawed Tyrant is available by completing the Gangbanger robbery, and the Virtue is available by completing the Podium robbery, but of course none of them are claimable. Back to our old ways, I guess. The Project Breakaway file is your priority file for the week within the Garment Factory. Alright guys, and the gun van location for today, the day this video is coming out, is here in Mirror Park, just by the gas station and the convenience store. It's in the back alleyway here. And within the gun van this week, this is what we have available. We got the railgun, we got the heavy rifle, the precision rifle, the compact rifle, the heavy revolver, and of course the baseball bat as well. The railgun is going to be 40% off for everybody this week, so if you don't have one, you should be buying one. For throwables, we have tear gas, Molotovs, and proximity mines, and of course armor is 10% off. Your RC Bandito time trial today is Cypress Flats. Your Junk Energy time trial is Mirror Park. Your regular time trial is Tongva Valley. And of course, your HSW time trial is at the docks here, and it is Terminal. So it starts here and it goes all the way up to the Chiliad Mountain State Wilderness. Anyway guys, there you have it. That has been it for what to buy and what to avoid this week in Grand Theft Auto Online. If you enjoyed the video, if you learned something, consider dropping a like and subscribing if you're new, and I will see you all in the next video. Until then, take care. Peace.